12 days of Veve is finishing today, and many of us are going to be wondering what the market's going to do, what we should do, and maybe some of the strategies that we should put in place for when this ends. So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Welcome in everyone, my name is Andy, and I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come and watch this video on the channel. Just before we get started, I have released memberships on the channel. I don't expect anything, it's just something I'm working towards if I want to make this my full-time career, and by you doing so, you're going to get exclusive access to some things that we're offering, as well as a lot of other benefits that we're going to be bringing in 2022. And don't worry, you do not need to support, and you can cancel at any time. If it's something that you've been enjoying the channel with and you want to support me on this journey, then you have the option to do so down below. Now there's two drops happening today, and that is Groot and the USPS stamps. And this is going to be the final of the 12 days of Veve and what's going on. And right now we've seen some increases in prices. Most of the market is sort of increasing right now, and we're seeing some people FOMOing into some of the drops that have been happening. But we are also wondering what's going to be going on after 12 days finishes. Will we be able to pick things up on a deal? Are things going to pump, and should we actually buy them before 12 days of Veve is over? In previous data, we've saw that things like Elsa has absolutely shot up after Disney Golden Moments had finished, all the way to about 800 gems. And most of the other collectibles also took a jump after Disney Golden Moments had finished. Things like Captain America's FA, Spider-Man FA, a bunch of other stuff that were on the platform. What you also notice is during the time where Disney Golden Moments has happened, Elsa fluctuated around about 200 to 300 gems when it came to that. She didn't really rise above it, and that was sort of the level all of the Disney Golden Moments stayed at, whereas everything else that had been out for a while longer continuously dipped until the 12th once Disney Golden Moments was over, and then shot up. If we take the same example when it comes to something like this and being Deadpool, we can see that he's fluctuated between around 135 and 88 considering the time that the 12 days has went on. And that sort of reminds us of the similar pattern that could be happening right now. And is Deadpool or all the rest of them going to follow the same suit? Personally, I don't believe they're going to follow the exact same pattern that Disney Golden Moments had done. This is because when Disney Golden Moments was finishing, this was Walt Disney's Partners that was dropping in the final day. Here we have Groot, who has quite a lot of additions, as well as the USPS stamps, which isn't the FA of them, but the FA of the Christmas stamps that we are getting. This leads me to believe that although 12 days is finishing today, we are going to get a rise in the market, just maybe not as significant as things like Disney Golden Moments had done. Deadpool's FA, Coca-Cola, and Mickey's Steamboat are so significant, and I know that they will rise and are actually rising right now for some of them, but I don't think they're going to take the same jump as some of the Disney Golden Moments had done. We can see that the ultra rare for the Mickey Steamboat has went from around 3k this morning to about 4.9 and has already taken a significant increase in its price. And some others have done the same. We've seen that the common Deadpool has risen 5%, the uncommon 3%, the secret rare 6%, and we only find the rare actually decreasing in percentage. So I'm seeing that the majority of those are rising slowly at the moment, and maybe they're going to do the same after 12 days is over. The patterns that often happen is that when something's finished and something significant like the 12 days is over, people have gems to spend because they've either not got something in the drops or have sold off other things to potentially get into some of the drops that have been happening. Therefore, things like Season 1 and Season 2 items have dropped in price purely because people are liquidating them in order to get into the new drops, as well as new people who are coming onto the platform wanting to get involved with what this is and what's going to happen. This will lead people to FOMOing into some of the collectibles that have just dropped, and I see some of the significant increases happening on the blue chips again. It will rise a fair bit once this is over. If people have the time to see what the market is doing, and we've not really been confirmed anything's coming in the next few days, so I think we're going to get our first comic on the Tuesday of next week, people are going to have the chance to spend their gems on what they're wanting and understand what they're classifying as blue chips. The more people talk about the Steamboat, the more people are going to get into it. The same as Coca-Cola Snow Globes, Deadpool, maybe anything else that they're wanting to get and feeling price is too low for what it's at. My strategy for this isn't going to be maybe the regular way that I would often do it, where I would try and buy into everything right now, as I think that is potentially one of the best things that you can do if you're looking at some of the deals that are going on. Things like Wonder Woman, things like the Snow Globes, things like Deadpool are still quite low compared to what I believe they can actually sit at. This is because so many good drops have happened over this 12 days. People have been getting liquidity constantly when it comes to this and not actually having the gems for these drops that are going on, selling them off as soon as the drop happens so that they can get enough gems for the next one. We've already talked about this, but people were selling off Deadpool for the Coca-Cola drop, people were selling off the Coca-Cola drop for Mickey's Steamboat, and I'm guessing that some people have sold off the Steamboat in order to get some of the drops that have been happening, like the Steve Rogers poster, the Labbits, now got the stamps and Groot coming today. Although not as popular as Mickey himself, there'll probably be some dedicated fans to any of those and are willing to sell something like the Steamboat Mickey to get that. This is why I see quite a sharp increase in some of these collectibles if they haven't already taken that sharp increase, because people now realise that they're not getting any drops for a couple of days and sort of have time to think and process about what their strategy is and how they're moving forward with it. Personally, I'm waiting to see if there's something big that really happens towards the end of the year or the beginning of next year. I think something quite big is going to be announced, or something big is going to be happening. Not out of any news, but just sheer speculation. By starting off the new year in a bang, people are really going to be wanting to get into some of these things. And I think I'm going to get some deals when this happens. Now, I could be completely wrong and everything rises to the point where I don't have enough to get into the things that I'm wanting to get into, but that is what I'm going to be searching for at the moment, to see if they announce something that really blows people's mind and gets people selling off to get liquidity for whatever is going to be happening. It's not to say I don't want liquidity for whatever that big news is, but we've heard that there's a potential good comic coming next week, and that's something that I definitely want to pay attention to see how people react to the market when this happens. Some of the deals right now that I would recommend picking up are things like Deadpool's Common, the Coca-Cola Polar Bear, even the Mickey Steamboat I think is still underpriced. I guessed around 250 to 350, the Common is sitting at around 370 gems at the moment. It has took quite a rise over the last day or so, so maybe waiting in a few days from now to see what the price could actually adjust to might be your best move. But if you're looking at things that have taken a little bit of a dip in their price over the last few days, over the 12 days of Veve sort of course, maybe look to pick some of those up. We've actually seen people getting smarter now, and they're actually buying back into the things before the 12 days ends, and that's why I've seen some price increases for these, but I don't think we've hit the all-time highs of what they could go to after something like this happens, but I'm guessing we're going to have to see. With also the announcement of the MCP program that was just released last night as a sort of near enough final iteration, we've seen some significant changes that could flip the switch on some people's collecting methods when it comes to things like the MCP Pro and the points that you're going to get for the collectibles. Although it's not going to affect or impact everyone, the new lobbying system that we're going to in January is probably going to decrease the excitement that people get from the drops, and things like MCP or OUP points are actually going to allow us to have that exhilarating feeling of going into a lottery to get drops like this. This is why I believe more people may pay attention to the Master Collector program if they lose the excitement of what we're seeing right now when it comes to the drops, even though we don't actually get that many of them, and force people into buying things and getting sets that they really want and think are going to give them the most benefit once the MCP program is released. But let me know what your thoughts are in the end of 12 days of Veve. Do you think there's going to be a significant jump in all of the collectibles, or do you believe only the blue chips are the ones that are going to rise? I'd love for you to let me know down in the comments. I know the video on the screen right now will be something you'll love to watch. Have a fantastic day. Oh, there's a paper. Lenny, legend. Love to see it, mate. Love to see it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.